The Book of Boba Fett episode 2 just dropped, and yeah, I want to jump in here and talk about it. I'm a little late to the party, but I've been off of social media and busy with other stuff. So yeah, we're going to get into it now. Let's go.
Ichuta!
True story. Me and my buddy would say Ichuta like as an insult all the time growing up, and it's not the first time we've heard it.
Oh, nice to see a familiar face. Ichuta. How rude.
Like we saw before in the credits, they're named as a Night Wind Assassin. Don't know anything about them yet, but who knows? I do think they might be linked to Crimson Dawn. Things are starting to lean that way, especially with some potential information that we've gotten. So, yeah. Also, I wonder who could have called him working for the mayor, you know? Who could possibly have seen that coming? Also, the potential news I was alluding to is that hashtag show, which I know that they've been around and they're popular. I don't really follow them, but I saw news that they broke and have an exclusive, and they're saying that Emilia Clarke is going to be reprising her role as Kira in a Kira-centered Disney Plus show. And if that's true, if that got announced, that lends a lot of credence to her possibly showing up. I was already speculating it because Crimson Reign is happening at this time. This feels like they are pulling things in from the War of the Bounty Hunters comic event that went on, which, spoiler alert, Kira's involved, that went into Crimson Reign, happened just before Book of Boba Fett drops. And if this is a true announcement, that means they probably finished, everything with her episodes, and they loved it and greenlit something. So definitely possible, but we'll have to see. If you guys know if that hashtag show is super legit with these leaks, let me know. But because I try not to stick with the speculation, I try to give you actual information. But we'll see. I'm excited.
Boba Fett. Do you have an appointment?
One of the things I love about Star Wars is like how it contextualized that they're just regular people in the galaxy doing their thing, just kind of have a regular life and have a normal job. Like, this guy is the most relatable person in Star Wars right now. He's just like, man, I just got a job. Like, I work the front desk for the mayor. God, I hate this job. So this is a line that kind of got me. The Night Wind Assassins are not allowed to be outside of Hutt space.
The Order of the Night Wind are not allowed to operate outside of Hutt space.
And so he killed him? Does that mean that this is not Hutt space? If so, like, how does that work with having the twins be part of the town or trying to take over? I'm still waiting to see how all of this is working out, or if I misunderstood it somehow. But yeah, I need more data. Definitely need more data on this. So I really love this interaction because he tells him running a family is more complicated than bounty hunting, right? In The Mandalorian, we heard bounty hunting is a very complicated profession. This is more complicated than that. He also tried to just pay him off as a bounty hunter. But I kind of like that because, we're getting into the why Boba Fett is not just being a regular bounty hunter anymore, why he's trying to step up his game and do another job, which I appreciate because Din Djarin was a bounty hunter. Yes, it'd be cool to see Boba just hunting down bounties, and I would like to see that maybe in comic book form, like Young Boba Adventures, maybe animated, something like that. But like, if we're getting the actor with facial expressions and stuff, I want to see growth, right? I want to see actual like character development. That's my thing. And of course, we got Black Chrysanthemum. He is a beast. Like, literally joined the gladiatorial pits that people fight to escape just because he wanted to learn how to be a better fighter. Like, he is not someone you mess with. And he dates back a while. We see him. He fought Obi-Wan once. He's fought Bossk before. He fought with Boba Fett. And yeah, he's most prominently now in the Afra comics because she hires him a lot for extra support. But of course, he doesn't work for her. They're partners, and he gets pissed when she screws him over, which she does everyone. So yeah, Read Africomics. So they're not allowed to just kill the Hutts, right? They need to get permission, which is really interesting, especially considering the previous line that we got about the Nightwing Assassin. There is rules about how and when and where they can operate, and it was violated, and that's why he was killed. Probably why he was hired in the first place, to be expendable, because he'd be breaking the rules. Anyhow, we need to figure out what the hierarchy is in the criminal element of the galaxy at this point in time. Is Kira around? Is she leading it? Is this a Crimson Dawn thing? Or what I am hoping for, I'm hoping we get Rin Riven die. And if you've read Leia Bloodlines, you'll know who I'm talking about. I think this would be a really cool and interesting way to bring him into canon, because people were consolidating, Jabba's power afterwards. And once it was consolidated, it was handed over to a Pike named Rin Riven Dai, and he was running the Empire. He actually hates the Hutts, and yeah, he's a big fan of Leia for being a Hutt Slayer, but hopefully we get some more context on that, and they bring that, right into the film. It's in the canon books, so hopefully we'll get it. Hey, look, it's The Last Samurai in Star Wars. Cool note, though, we see other people picking up black melons in the background, meaning that he is not just collecting for them, he is being considered a warrior for them, which is cool, because they all have different roles, right? So he's moved up the food chain. Alright, this train scene is messed up because it really, it really drives home what happened with Anakin and the Sand People. We had a conversation on my philosophy in Star Wars episode of the High Ground podcast. Check it out, but we briefly talked about, what if when Anakin was slaughtering the Sand People, one of them wasn't wearing their mask or something like that. Not that we see them without it, ever, but it would really, humanize them. They aren't just mindless monsters, but that's how they are viewed from the perspective of a lot of people from most of the galaxy. Even in Legends, unless you read the Kenobi book by John Jackson Miller, you didn't really know anything about them. It wasn't until The Mandalorian that the mainstream audience really got to recontextualize and see that they weren't just, they weren't... Okay, just like I said before, I'm getting strong parallels with how Anakin carried his mother and how Boba Fett is carrying the Sand Person. It's literally the same scene. It's just being portrayed from the other side of it, letting you know that if you look at both sides, it's really easy to say they are the other and cast them off or whatever, but that's not true. They are viewing you as the other. The thing that really makes the biggest difference is who has the greater power in the situation. Whereas the power dynamic work. It's not at the favor of the Sand People, and that's why they get slaughtered also. Of course, on the flip side, we know all the Sand People aren't the nicest either. They were shooting at the pod racers on the Boonta Eve Classic. That was the thing that they were doing for sport. But we know that there are many different tribes. They do different things. And just because we saw some Tusken Raiders shooting pod racers doesn't mean that you should be able to wholesale kill any Tusken Raider you see. Just like if we see, terrible humans killing one another, we wouldn't, and then Obi-Wan walks up, we can't blame him for what those people did just because they're the same race or species or whatever. It's interesting. Hopefully it makes you think. Alright, we get a look at the inside of Tashi Station. You can see this in deleted scenes of A New Hope. Another thing to note is these biker guys. This is the same people that we saw roughing up the Homestead in episode 1. And these, you can even match up the speeders if you want to. The emblem on the back of their jackets. The words at the bottom just say Tatooine, which is kind of weird, I don't know. If I was in a biker gang and it's back my jacket just said Earth, California, I think that's kind of lame, but I think they could have put something more interesting on the back, but it's not, I'm not making it. This scene also has a great cameo. Get it? Cameo? I didn't get the joke yet, but the woman is Cammy, who is also in the same deleted scene. It's Cammy and Fixer, not to be confused with my favorite Fixer. How they got actors that were so perfect to portray the role, I don't know, but they look phenomenal. I've been seeing people have I love this scene. Look at it. It's so jovial, you know? I don't know. I love it. The Pikes look quite weird without their mask. I don't like it, but it makes sense. You have to get, like, if you're trying to have a human head in there to act, like a human head wouldn't fit where Pikes are normally that you would see them in animation. So I'm definitely okay with this. This is kind of goes in the same bucket as making Ahsoka's Leku a little shorter so that the action scenes like flow better. Totally okay with it, but they look weird. One thing that's really cool is since this is happening in a flashback, this is happening before we run into the Tusken Raiders in The Mandalorian. So when we first see them in The Mandalorian, in the episode The Gunslinger, they have to pay a toll in order to cross their lands. It's cool to see that this is where that was set up. Okay, so Boba Fett having no idea what's happening, like, I live for it. It reminds me a lot of Obi-Wan in Attack of the Clones, where he's just like fumbling around and he has no idea what the mission he's on is. Like, it just keeps unfolding. It's exactly what's going on with Boba Fett. He's like, oh, thank you for this lovely lizard. Sorry, I accidentally swallowed it. Like, my bad, dude. Is that a party foul? Like, I'll get you a new lizard. You know, I don't know, it's just, I love that scene. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Star Wars is at its best when it's getting weird, and nothing is better than like crazy dream sequences, like Luke at the dark side cave at Dagobah, with Rey in the water butthole or whatever with the mirrors, and now this. Oh my goodness, I love it, and the symbolism I thought was beautiful. Like, we see that the sky turn into the sky over Camino, and then the sand mimics the waves of it. You know, we see Boba like chasing after his father, and his father is leaving him behind. We get the glimpses of him coming in and out of the suit, when, you know, his father dies, as we know. He picks up the helmet and he sees himself in there, right? Definite nod back to Empire Strikes Back, when Luke really sees the same thing. He sees you know, his own potential to become Vader if he continues down that same dark path. And that's really what Boba Fett sees. He almost realized the same fate as his father, of dying just doing bounty hunter stuff. And that's why we see him in the Sarlacc again. And it's interesting because he's in the Sarlacc and the ship flies away, and that's when his hand comes up, almost like he's trying to catch his father's legacy. But eventually we see him break the branch. He breaks out of the Sarlacc. He breaks out of that life, and breaking it, ending that cycle, is what gets him out of it. Oh man, I love it. I mean, people are going to analyze this forever. I've only seen the episode twice, but that's what I got out of it. If you guys got more, let me know in the comments. I'm excited to see what other things I might have missed. Oh, also, the eyes and stuff in the trees, those are Jawas. We see it in the end credits. That's how the scene was being depicted in the concept art. So after each episode, look at all the concept art. There might be stuff that you missed in the episode that you'll see there, and it'll recontextualize it for you. And the other thing I always do is I look up the people in the credits by name and make sure if I've missed anything. I really hope that at the end of the show, like, we get another like documentary show, kind of like Gallery was for The Mandalorian, but I do want full episodes for each of these episodes, because Tamara Morrison is from New Zealand and part of the Maori tribe there, at least descendant of them. And so I'm curious, the kind of ritualistic dance that they do at the end, I'm curious if that's partially taken from them, because I know that it's something he has performed before. I'm curious where that comes from, if that has any specific ties or like special meaning. But yep, that's the episode. Okay, so those were my thoughts and things I noticed about the episode. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. But overall, I'm liking the show. It's not flooring me, right? I'm not, waving the flag. I'm also not waving a pitchfork. that's for damn sure. Yeah, it's been enjoyable to watch. I think it's going to really pick up. I do like these flashbacks, but I can't wait till we get to the point that we are developing him currently and not seeing how he's developed in the past. So we'll see. I will eagerly await it. This episode, I did like this one better than the first episode, especially over my second watch of it. It really grew on me, because again, it got weird. It went there. Hopefully this continues to go there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. I really appreciate it, because I love making content. I'm always never sure if I should make it or not, but yeah. May the force be with you always.